Hello music fans, it's Brennan from the Death by Unicorn channel here, talking about 4 albums that I listened to that came out on Friday, September 2nd that I recommend you check out, and I'll talk about them in my order of preference. My first one that I'm going to talk about is by the band Megadeth, and it's called The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. This is thrash metal. It's their 16th album. They have a lot of albums, and this is pretty good, just below, for me in my Megadeth ranking, it kind of falls just below Killing Is My Business and above Dystopia, and kind of slides into my 7th favorite of their 16 albums. So kind of close to the middle of the road, fairly typical stuff for Megadeth. It's interesting that they pulled off having a rapper, Ice-T, featured on one of their songs, and I didn't hate it. Normally when rock and metal bands throw rappers in their songs, I don't really like it. Like, I can think of some examples with Black Sabbath doing that on a track, with Rush doing it on a track, and usually I hate those songs, but this time it kind of worked. And throughout the whole album, great guitar riffs and great guitar solos. Second one I'm going to talk about is by the band Blind Guardian, and it's called The God Machine, and this is kind of epic, heavy power metal. It's their 12th album, and it's kind of sounds like it would be the soundtrack to kind of Lord of the Rings battles if they use metal. It's that kind of epic fantasy sounding power metal. And the third album I'm going to talk about is by the band Miss May I, and it's called Curse of Existence. This is metalcore. It's their 7th album, and this sounds a lot like mid-2000s metalcore, very well executed. Nothing super standout or special here, but it is cool to hear some modern metalcore not using the low tuning genty guitars. It kind of sounds more like what you would hear coming out of the mid-2000s. And lastly, I'll talk about King's X and their album 3 Sides of One. This is hard rock. It's got some progressive influences and some kind of metal alternative influences thrown in there too. Pretty solid, well executed album, but nothing that I was too surprised or impressed by. Probably nothing that I'll go back to that often, but I still recommend you check it out if you like hard rock and albums. And that's it for me for today. Till next time, peace out.